Greetings Exiles, BullShifter here back with another Path of Exile PS4 tutorial video. Today I'm going to be covering the Tabula Rasa in my very first item guide. Now the reason why I've decided to cover the Tabula Rasa, one, it was actually requested by a viewer, thank you very much for watching and for the suggestion on the video. Another is simply because of the fact that I believe the Tabula Rasa is one of the most beginner-friendly uniques in the game. It has multi-purposes, and it just gives you a lot of flexibility with your build early on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually check out the Tabula Rasa. So this is the Tabula Rasa Simple Robe. The Tabula Rasa is a unique item, which is a 6-socket, 6-link item with white gem slots. Now, this was not 6-linked by myself. This actually comes stock as a 6-link, which is pretty much the main benefit of this item. It allows you to actually go ahead and slot a skill or attack gem in the item itself, and then proceed that with 5 support gems. So it effectively gives you a top tier attack within your chest piece. The other benefit is the fact that since all of these slots are white, you can actually put a green, blue, or red gem in them. White is universal, so you can actually slot any colored gem in these that you would like. So it pretty much gives you the flexibility of getting to experiment or use any attack gem that you would like with any support gems that will obviously be compatible with that attack gem. So it can do one of two things for you, actually. It can be an experimentation chess piece for you, where you just essentially play with your attack skill and which support gems you personally prefer or like with that gem itself, or you can go ahead and look at your different skills and see what kind of damage output you're doing with them while you have the robe equipped and the 6-link. The other thing it can help you with is the fact that 6-link items are not easily obtained early on in the game. Sometimes they're not even easily obtained in the end game. So having a 6-link at your disposal is just super useful for having that powerful main attack that you'll be using anyways. Now, with that said, there is one major downside to the Tabula Rasa, and that is simply the fact that it does not have any modifiers. So it doesn't have a prefix, a suffix, or any implicit modifier to the item, which is why when I hover over it, it simply shows the name of the item itself and nothing else. Now, you should be able to use the Tabula Rasa at any level, so if you get it early on, obviously it's a quick 6-link, and you just have to adjust the rest of your gear accordingly. So if you're looking to stack on health or your resist through your items themselves, you're just going to have to remember that you're going to need higher rolls on your other items. Now, having this is essentially nerfing your defenses a little bit for guaranteed higher offense. Eventually, you are going to want a different 6-link chest piece, such as the one that I have on this character, so that way you can go ahead and actually have stats built up on your chest piece while still having that 6-link attack gem. However, early on, the Tabula Rasa is a great substitute for that. As long as you're still able to maintain a decent amount of life and keep your resistances up and get all the other stats that you need through your other gear, this is a fine substitute, and some people do use it through endgame. Just keep in mind, because of those lack of modifiers, it will be a bit more difficult to balance your stats. So with that said, the benefits and the cons of having the item itself, let's look into how you get this item. So there's two main easy ways of getting this item. Obviously, the third way would be the fact that it is a unique item that is in the unique item drop pool, so it can drop as you're playing throughout the game on its own. However, there are two easier ways to be able to farm this. One is a prophecy through Navali. I don't believe I actually have this prophecy currently, but there is a prophecy that is titled the Cleanser of Sins. Now, when you get the prophecy Cleanser of Sins, you go ahead, complete the prophecy, and the reward for the prophecy is that the enemy that you defeat will drop a Tabula Rasa. So that is one way to get the item. If you don't actually have the prophecy itself, keep in mind, you roll random prophecies through Navali, or you can go ahead and check out the trade market itself and just search for the prophecy through here, and odds are someone will have it up for sale. Now, do keep in mind that you don't want to pay more for the prophecy than a Tabula Rasa itself, so be sure to compare prices so that way you are maximizing your currency use and essentially not getting ripped off. Now, the other way to obtain this item, and in my opinion the better and easier way to do this, is through gathering divination cards called Humility. So you'll need 9 of these, and when you've gathered all 9, you can turn them in for a Tabula Rasa. Now, there's a few different places that you can farm for this item. However, the one that I would recommend is the Blood Aqueduct. Now, as you can see, I'm here in Act 9. This is actually the hub of Act 9. So you can actually get there directly through that little portal I showed you there, or you can warp there through the waypoint. I would suggest just sticking around the Act 9 hub because of the fact that if you're grinding this, you're going to be running the Blood Aqueduct multiple times. And the easiest way to grind multiple times is obviously to run through once, kill everything, come back to this door when you're inside of the Act 9 hub, hit triangle, and create a new instance, which is essentially going to reset everything in the Blood Aqueduct, allowing you to kill all those enemies again, and try to go ahead and grind for essentially another divination card off of the drops from those enemies. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I would recommend the Blood Aqueduct. One is the fact that it's in Act 9. So you're close to Act 10, the enemies are of a decent level, so if you're actually still running through the acts and you're not deep into mapping, the experience can actually still be beneficial here as long as you haven't completely out-leveled the area. The other reason is because of the fact that it is actually a later act in the game and the instance can be reset. There's also higher mob density here compared to a lot of the other places where the card can potentially drop. And maps aren't necessarily always ideal because of the fact that you can't reset the instance in a map, you just have to run the map again. So with something like this, you can go ahead, start at the Act 9 hub, run all the way through, drop all the enemies, hope for the correct drops, and if you don't get them, by the time that you run back all the way to the main entrance, you will essentially be back at the warp waypoint. You can warp back to the Act 9 hub, go to the instance door, hit triangle, reset the instance, and run it all over again. That would be my recommendation for the best way to go ahead and farm this divination card to try and get your Tabula Rasa, if this is something that you're trying to grind in order to get that 6-link item early before you get too deep into your mapping, so that way you do have a very powerful attack gem linked with 5 support gems. So that's going to go ahead and conclude my coverage of the Tabula Rasa. Hopefully you found this guide interesting and informative. Hopefully it helps you out in your Path of Exile quest. Like I said, it is very beginner friendly. It will help you even through the first few tiers of mapping itself. It's just something that eventually you will want to replace, as it is simply kind of a beginner item or an experimentational item. So again, thank you for watching the video. I definitely appreciate all the support that I get on the channel. I have a great community. If you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. It's a great group of people who are subscribed to this channel. They are very helpful, very passionate bunch of people who are very beginner friendly. They are very nice to newcomers. So I would say feel free to join the channel and just be a part of the fun. So thanks again for watching and being a part of the channel itself. Until next time, may the RNG be with you. Always.